Welcome, everybody, to another exciting episode of HomeKit Insider. You've got me, as always, Andrew O'Hara, here with my pal. And, fun fact, the man who holds the record for smuggling the most squirrels into Wembley Stadium, it is Steven Robles.
Hey, welcome back, man. Good to have you back. I think that's the second squirrel reference. Apparently,
Is
I
that
have
the second squirrel reference? Okay, well, you clearly have a thing for squirrels, and I am just saying, when security peeps old bushy-tailed Robles coming down the road, swinging his little bag of acorns, they are on you faster than white on rice. I am telling you.
I don't like any of these.
They're going to let you get close.
I don't like any of these. I don't like any of these analogies. This is very troubling. But yeah, I'm nuts for squirrels. I'll be honest. All right, let's move on now because we actually have a ton of follow-up. I'm trying to get better at follow-up, Andrew. I want people who reach out to us to know that we hear you. And a lot of times, I don't know if we want to release this OPSEC, or that's probably not the right term. But we release episodes on Monday. But we record way before that because we don't record over the weekend. And so sometimes there is a delay. So if you reach out to us like Friday thinking you're going to get on Monday's episode, like it's just not going to happen. But just want to let you know, like still reach out. You're just probably going to hear it a week later. You know what I mean? I just felt like, specifying that so if people wonder. Sometimes a little delayed, that's all. But anyway, several listeners, follow-ups, very exciting. Steve Baldwin on Mastodon. I have to try and tell. I take screenshots of these posts, and then I have to kind of interpret the design of the screenshot to remember what platform it was on.
They all look the same. Now we have to worry about threads in there too.
Yeah, slightly different fonts, different colors. But anyway, Steve was saying last episode, Jenna was our first HomeKiteer lady who reached out to let us know that we actually do have at least tons, and I'm talking like half dozens of ladies that are HomeKiteers, which is wonderful. But he also has the level lock, and Jenna had the issue where whenever her husband was leaving, it would lock while the door was open, like the deadbolt would just slide out, and then he would have to unlock it again to close the door. Steve is saying he had a similar issue, and he realized that he was trailing his finger against the exterior lock housing, which then locks the level lock. And he actually had to learn how to how to engage with his locker, exit the door. You have to relearn how you walk out of your house, basically. That's what he was saying. So
that happened to me constantly. I actually had to turn off the touch to lock functionality because people would come in and they would graze. So our door opens in, and as people would come in, they would graze their forearms against the exterior of the level lock, and that would trigger the thing to extend the deadbolt, and then they would push the door closed behind them, smashing the deadbolt into our molding. So that was definitely a thing. So I ended up having to turn that off. So I use the auto lock after a set period of time because I couldn't I like the touch to lock functionality. But it wasn't even just me. It was guests that were doing that. And especially when people come to our house, we got these pups jumping around, getting all excited, they're super people dogs, and they want to say hi to everybody, and they're just going crazy, and they're trying not to let them out of the house. And next thing you know, you're crushing deadbolt, and you're I gotta close the deadbolt, but my hands are full of groceries or whatever. I'm carrying 6 children. They can't turn the deadbolt, so it's a thing. It's a thing.
Okay. So maybe see if he's grazing the level lock. And then this next was a DM on Twitter from Andy. Last time we were talking about setting up automations and scenes for if you're leaving on vacation and you want to trick basically Marv and Harry who are across the street peering in your window, and you want to have the cutout of Michael Jordan on the train. I think everyone gets the reference now. But if you want to make it look like you're home, apparently Andy was saying Lutron actually has a smart away scene that does exactly this, where it basically randomly turns on and off lights while you're not home to make it look like there's activity inside the house. So if you have Lutron switches or lights, or they do make smart plugs too, if you have any of that Lutron stuff, apparently there's a smart away scene you can try. So good tip from Andy. Thank you for that.
There is, I believe this just came out fairly recently. There's a special vacation mode on the Hue app that will do this exact thing for your Hue lights. So I remember sitting in a press conference and watching this, and I never actually tested it out because we don't have enough hue lights in like shared spaces that it would be useful for me. They're most like in our living room, entertainment scenes, in the kitchen. But yeah, I believe there's like a special like away mode for hue that will like randomize stuff to again make it look like someone's home. And you can even set like parameters, like times of day that you want your lights to be active and stuff, so like they're not like flashing throughout the night suspiciously, but you know, through evening hours or something.
Well, in the Hue app, I just looked it up while you were talking. There's a mimic presence scene.
Boom.
Set your lights to turn on and off to make it look like you are home. And so there it is in the Hue app. Mimic presence. Yeah, basically it could mimic that I'm here in the studio recording, and everybody would be like, he just spends all day and night in that one room. He never leaves. Those are where all my Hue lights are. Now, 2 more HomeKit ladies have reached out. Thank you all. We have a wonderfully diverse audience, so it's nice to hear. Keep it coming. So this is Georgia on Threads. I know Andrew's going to be hating on Threads later, but this is how she reached out. She found us via Threads, and she has a whole HomeKit setup. She's got the Aqara door sensors, Hue lights and motions, Eve Aqua, and blinds. I mean, Georgia did it all. And she actually has an interesting automation/shortcut, which I think would be good to share. So when it's garbage day, you know, if you live in a place where you have to like drag the garbage cans to the road, sometimes you got a green one or a gray one for the trash, then you got the blue one for recycling. If you miss garbage day, I mean, it is one of life's terrible tragedies, because then you just have garbage piling up. If you had a big party in 1 week, you know, like we had a kid's birthday party last week, and if you miss garbage day after that party, I mean, it's over. Like, it's just over. You might as well just move. But anyway, Georgia has a great automation where she says the lights, she has some colored lights on the outside of her house, and those lights turn green when it's time to take the green bin to the road. And then I think she also said it turns blue in the recycling. And then it's also a reminder to her neighbors. So her neighbors can look at her house to be reminded, is it garbage day or not? And her house tells everyone. She is doing a service for everyone, HomeKit for everyone. I think that's a great story.
Georgia's
so thank you,
house
Georgia.
is green again, guys. We got to take out the trash. Let's go.
Take that out. Take out the trash. Kids, what color is Georgia's house? And then one other HomeKit lady reached out, also on Threads. Sorry, I'm just saying, more Threads. But this is Kristen from, I'm not sure where she's from, but Kristen, she says she set up her whole house with HomeKit stuff. She has kids, and the kids know how to talk to Siri, tell Siri nap time is over, turns on the lights. So wonderful. We have lots of HomeKit ladies out there, so it's very fun. Thank you all for reaching out. Keep it coming. We'd love to hear what ladies are leading the charge on the HomeKit and HomeKit process. And you heard from someone. I'm very curious to see what this is in the note because I have no context. Who reached out to you? What is this?
This may be like one of the greatest emails that I've gotten. So I am so excited. There's a lot in here, so I don't want to. We're not going to cover all of this, Steven. But this is from Old Granny. That's how she
Old
signs
Granny.
this. I did not give her
Not
that
us.
name.
We didn't say that.
She actually
So
says,
good.
which I think is kind of ingenious. She didn't share her socials, but she did say that on all of her socials, she pretends to be a younger woman because she feels people will be like ageist against her. So she used to be an IT professional, is now retired, and smart home is her retirement hobby. And all of her
That's so
social
fun.
profiles, she has to portray as a younger woman so that people take her seriously in the tech and smart home space, which I think is brilliant, and you shouldn't have to do that. There's a whole other story.
Shouldn't have to do that at all.
No.
Yeah. That's also like that. I kind of like IT professional. Like, I feel like younger people. Again, I don't know if we consider ourselves younger anymore. We're kind of like not young, but not in the older category yet. I don't know. But I feel like there is this thing where when younger people hear like IT professional for decades, you don't know anything. Like, you don't even know how to long press on a message. And it's like, listen, there's like technology is a broad spectrum of knowledge, and someone might be an incredible expert in like networking, building servers in like whatever. And no, they might not know how to like build a shortcut so your rotation locks when you open the photo as an app or whatever. But like, it is still an incredible breadth of knowledge. And so it's a shame that she has to do that. But I'm glad she's still participating and that she reached out to us, which is amazing. Any age HomeKit, we would love to hear from. So, okay, tell us. Well, what did old Granny say in her words?
So she shared a lot of stuff about her setup. She's got a Ubiquiti setup. She uses.
Oh yeah, IT professional.
She's got some fancy stuff here for naming her lamps. Like she has like a tall lamp, and then she has like dummy switches that she has set up for that using like the Homebridge Hue API. She has been working hard. Her personal victory is getting Grandpa, the old man I've been married to for 4 decades. She dragged him into the world of home automation, and he doesn't love it. But he does occasionally use, Siri commands. He doesn't like to use the good night command, though, so he has to press a button to go. And I'm sure you're going to talk about buttons here in a little bit. But the one little thing that I wanted to share, one of her cool automations that she has set up, she has a Starlink satellite, and she has a temperature sensor on her Starlink satellite, and she created an automation that when the temperature sensor reaches above 90 degrees, it actually turns on a fan and cools down her Starlink dishy brick. That's what she described as her Starlink dishy brick. So if it gets too hot, the fan turns on and cools down the dishy brick, and turns off the other one. So there's some other stuff she shared here. It's great. I love it. One of the best emails we've gotten.
That's amazing.
I love how diverse our audience is. This is fantastic.
That is amazing. I mean, old Granny probably climbing on the roof with this Starlink satellite, setting up fans and automations. That is amazing. That is amazing. Well, thank you, old Granny, and thank you for all the HomeKit ladies. We love to hear just everybody out there who, I don't know, just reach out. We love hearing from you. It's a lot of fun. So, all right. Well, that was a fun follow-up. We got some more listener questions hopefully we can get to later. But let us hit some news. Yale Lock has come out with a new... Is this a new model or just new colors? This is Yale and Pantone Assure Lock 2 limited edition.
Yeah, this is fun. This is a limited edition of the Assure Lock 2. It does work with HomeKit, but it came out in the Pantone Color of the Year, which, honestly, Steven, that's a pretty dope color. I really like that red. It looks really neat. So it's like the Pantone Magenta. So there's like a limited edition one if you want some cool, fun color pop on your HomeKit lock. The Assure Lock 2 in Pantone Magenta.
Now, this does not have Home Key. Is that correct?
I believe you're right. I think it's just HomeKit. Because this isn't like a whole new lock, right? This is just a colorway of an existing lock. So HomeKit support is there, but I don't believe it's got some like bonus, home key functionality that Yale hasn't brought to any of its other locks yet.
Okay. Well, very cool. Well, the Pantone color, that is a pretty cool color. That's pretty unique. All right, and then also, I don't have a link or image for this, but Leviton actually reached out and let us know that they have updated their Decor line of switches and other devices with Matter. And so if you want to incorporate some of those Leviton switches and products into your Matter home, even if it's not an Apple HomeKit, it's Matter. So you could do whatever. And again, I'm getting more and more Matter devices. I'm going to talk about the Button later, which is a Matter device and worked great with Apple Home. But you can update it. Andrew, I'm still a little skittish. I don't update any of my stuff to Matter. I'm like, if it works in HomeKit, not touching it. Not touching it. My Leviton switches have been pretty solid for a while. I'm just leaving them alone. But I am getting the custom buttons for the Leviton wall controller, the scene controller, where it has the 4 buttons. I actually finally am getting like a custom words on it.
Nice.
So I can actually, so everyone can actually know what those buttons do and not feel like it's some mystery. But yeah, Leviton adding Matter, another brand. I'm still waiting on Belkin.
That's true. Well, Belkin, that's a whole pause until they figure something different out, which I'm fully on board with. So the products that Leviton is updating is the Decora Smart 2nd Gen Wi-Fi dimmer, Decora Smart 2nd Gen Wi-Fi switch, Decora Smart 2nd Gen Wi-Fi mini plug dimmer. I'll let you guess the first part of this name, but the mini plug-in switch. So those are the 4 products getting Matter support.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we do have some more news, but before we do that, we want to thank returning sponsor recently, Andrew. Maybe he can live translate for me. ¿Le está gustando mi podcast?
Are we going with Babbel
again?
¿Le está
gustando mi podcast? Yes, we want to thank Babbel, our sponsor. Listen, I don't know if I was going to know this. I'm actually Puerto Rican. My parents are fluent in Spanish, but I did not learn it from them. They didn't speak to me when I was younger, and so I did it in school for years.
They didn't speak to you for like 6 years.
Well, ustedes no hablan a mí cuando yo soy juventud. I don't know. I'm trying, Babbel. All right, I'm trying to pick up my Spanish because I took Spanish for like 6 years in junior high and high school, and then I did like AP Spanish, and I forgot it all. So Babbel's helping me brush up on my Spanish so I can speak, because I still have relatives, who speak Spanish and stuff. And so here's the deal. Babbel, it is the best way to learn a language is through immersion. Of course, you go to a country, you immerse yourself in it, where you live where the language is spoken, but most of us can't do that. So the second best way to learn is Babbel. Babbel is an app you can start speaking a new language in just 3 weeks. And 1 in 5 Americans have learned a new language on their bucket list. If that's you, you could check it off this summer. Maybe you're traveling somewhere, maybe somewhere soon, or you're making a big trip plan for the future. Learn the language of the country you're going to, and then you can do it. And Babbel's cool because when you speak to the app, it'll actually tell you how you're doing with the accent. I forget, Andrew, do you have an Ohio accent? Where's your accent from?
Yes, I'm in Ohio. You can categorize me by soda or pop when I'm talking about my
Babbel
love
would say
of
pop.
Coke Zero.
Pop. We don't even have a translation for that. That's not even what you're supposed to call it.
It's clearly pop.
What is pop? What is pop?
Who says soda?
Babbel, soda, cheese curds. Anyway, Babbel is designed by real people for real conversations, and you have Babbel's courses can help you learn real-life conversation skills like ordering food, asking for directions, speaking to merchants, which is really helpful. I was actually just in another country last month, and I did not speak the language, and sometime when I wanted to buy things from like street vendors or whatever, I was like, they're probably taking me for a ride. I have no idea. I'm just going to hand them 100%. Some cash. Yeah, exactly. And if I could have spoke their language, I could actually like haggle and stuff. And Babbel can actually help you do that. And like I said, the speech recognition technology helps improve your pronunciation and accent. Even if you need to improve your English accent. It won't do that. It'll help you with your other language accents. With over 10 million subscriptions sold, Babbel is real language learning for real conversations. So here's a special limited time deal for our HomeKit listeners. Get started right now. Get 55% off. Andrew's just given up, I think, on the HomeKit. I just keep saying it. I just keep throwing it in there. He just is not even making faces anymore. Get 55% off your Babbel subscription, but only for HomeKit listeners at Babbel, BABBEL.com/HKI for HomeKit Insider. Get 55% off Babbel.com/HKI. That's spelled BABBEL.com/HKI. Rules and restrictions may apply. Gracias, Babbel. Gracias.
If they would have sponsored us slightly sooner, maybe you wouldn't have looked like such a fool.
Listen, I'll work on it. Gracias para... I'll have to figure out how to say sponsor. Advertise. Anyway. Andrew. El sponsor. That's all right.
I have not spent enough time with Babbel yet to know.
Andrew has not learned Spanish yet. He'll get there. Andrew, this article came up. I saw you put this in the notes, and I was like, okay, what is happening? This is the White House sets a voluntary security standard for smart home devices, and it's called the U.S. Cyber Trust Mark. It's led by the FCC, and basically this is a program where smart home companies will get a QR code if they participate and, I guess, go through these standards, and they'll be able to put this QR code on the products to show that they are certified, I guess, by the FCC. Lots of brands like Amazon, Best Buy, and others have joined. Apple has not yet joined, although they're a part of some of the creating organizations that were a part of this. This seems really interesting, odd, like now to do this. I don't know, man. What do you think about this?
I don't know. I like all this, and I want to just kind of like throw my hands up. It's like we have another certification basically to slap on smart home products, and one, I feel like it creates like another barrier to entry for companies. It's like, oh, cool. Now we have to do HomeKit, we have to do Google Home, we got to do Amazon, now we have to do Matter, and now we're putting this additional security requirement on there. It would be nice if CSA is part of this, right? The standards organization that creates Matter, so they are part of this. They signed up for this. So it would be nice if this was basically just rolled into Matter in some way. Like if it was Matter certified, then it would be certified through this. Like we don't need like another label on the side of the box. Like you just saw that Yale one there, and it had like 15 things on there. So like Apple, I feel like is sticking with like their HomeKit stuff. I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's obviously a good thing, and one of the biggest problems, especially with the Amazon smart home tech, is that they are just woefully open to hacking. And there's been so many
that is true.
So many breaches, especially some of these like no-name smart plugs that get sold on Amazon, and people are buying for like $5. Oh, I can control it from my phone, and they're just so vulnerable. So I don't know. I feel like it's something that needed to happen. But it's like way too late. I mean, like literally, the CSA was stepping in basically to fix some of this, and after that happened, the government's like, "Okay, we got this," and
yeah,
I don't know.
It would make a lot more sense. Like Matter has literally been the last 3 years, like all the talk of the smart home space. It really should have just been rolled into that standard, where if something was Matter certified, the U.S. government could approve it also. But, you know, one of the things, we get this a lot on the Apple Insider show, being here in the States, I know HomeKit devices and stuff is very different than it is in Europe and even other countries. We have listeners in Australia and in Asia. And so, you know, I don't know. You know, I'm not sure how it would work across country lines when a company like
it would be just
Eve
another
is
one,
trying to make
just like
devices.
there's the EU regulations that they got to apply for. There's just another one they have to do here.
Right.
And there could be new ones popping up in the EU, in Australia, and other countries.
That's true.
They could create their own things. This is optional. I don't know if we mentioned that, but this is like an optional standards thing. It's not like they're forcing this on anybody.
Right.
That's why Apple has not officially signed on as an independent company. We were talking about it internally, like, oh, is Apple part of this or not? Because like CSA is part of this, which Apple is part of the CSA, but also you have like Amazon and Google signing on independently, whereas Apple hadn't. So, I don't know, but I don't think it matters too much. Like, if you're getting HomeKit, you know you're getting, like, the highest security. This will not be higher than HomeKit security, so...
Did you say doesn't really matter?
Get out of here. Get out.
So many puns.
Can I mute
so many
you
puns, yeah.
on my end?
Yeah.
I don't...
just pretend. Just wait till my mouth stops moving and then say whatever you're going to say. Anyway, so we'll see. Again, optional, like Andrew just said, and we'll see what comes of it, but... Yeah, I don't want anything to slow down more smart home devices. You know what I mean? Don't slow anything down. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. All right, and last bit of news here. The Nanoleaf, there might be an update to their shapes, elements, and lines that enable border router functionality. This was something that Nanoleaf had talked about like at least
over
a year ago
or something. Yeah, I remember sitting in this press conference too.
Right, and it was like Nanoleaf announced that their shapes and elements will become thread border routers, which will be able to, be a part of the thread network and be some of the hubs, I guess you could say, like that are part of your thread network. And I guess there was a recent update, and now Reddit users are seeing those Nanoleaf devices show up in the Eve app, which shows your thread network. And which it's kind of hilarious that the Eve app is still kind of the only place to see this thread network. I would think, because there's still nothing in the Home app, right? The Home app doesn't show you any kind of thread anything. No. Yeah, so this is what it looks like in the Eve app, just so everyone can see. And you see when things are an endpoint, like you see here, my patio Eve motion, my Eve flares on the patio. Those are all endpoints, meaning that they are pulling, like they are connecting to the thread network. And then you have things that are called where is it? What are those purple things? These down here. They're called the router. So here in the studio, you actually have, these are some Eve energies. That's the router. It's a thread border router. Also the fan light. Oh, look, I just got on a car a message that contact sensor is open. So when things are a router, like you see here in purple, then it's something where like it is broadcasting the thread network to other devices that might be like low energy and are just trying to communicate. And then plus all of like HomePod minis, Apple TVs, like those are all those crazy routers there. So, those show up at the bottom. So
I was
maybe if you have Nanoleaf devices, let us know.
I was just looking in the App Store because I'm like, okay, this isn't like a specific thing that Eve has done. Like Eve isn't doing anything necessarily proprietary to highlight the thread network. So I'm like, I wonder if there's like specifically like some HomeKit thread network viewers that maybe display this in a better way. So like I was searching the App Store, so I first started with thread network, and I got all these things for like shopping, like Steve Madden,
sure,
and all these. I'm like, okay, so that's not it. So I tried like Thread Network HomeKit and found nothing, and then did just Thread HomeKit, still found nothing. But I discovered a new app, Steven, like literally right here. That this is I like this. I'm buying this. It's just called where even is the name? HomeBatteries for HomeKit, and it shows all of your HomeKit products' battery statuses. So like Eve can do this too, but you have like so many other ones between like connection and updates. It gets kind of messy. This I can literally view all of my rooms, all of my batteries for rooms. I can filter by accessory types. So useful. I have so many battery connected devices, and sometimes it's a pain. And I'll just have like HomeKit battery replace day, where I'll go through and try to replace like all the batteries on everything that had died or need charged. This is really cool.
Whoa.
Simple product. Buying this. This is great.
Now, this is the developer's name is Adam Foote, and I'm going to put his website link. I think it was the first we've heard of him.
I've not heard of this
but
before.
I'm putting his website link in the show notes because he has a bunch of apps. He has an app called Shutters. That's for Soma Connect. He has a Home Buttons app, which makes it easy to control through widgets on your home screen. These apps are just like $2 a piece. These look like nice widgets too. Home Buttons for HomeKit. He's got the HomeBatteries, like you were saying. He also has some medical type widgets where you can have your medical ID on your lock screen accessible via lock screen widget. Remote. He's got a bunch of stuff. So Adam Foote, we're going to put a link to his logo on the top of his website is an F, but with like toes on the top. Like a foot.
Nice.
So
I get
good.
it.
On brand. Adam Foote. That's great. Okay, we just discovered somebody new. I'm going to try this Home Buttons app. I like the look of these widgets. It's pretty cool. Works on Mac, so it looks like he's going to support Mac widgets, iPhone, iPad, and Apple Watch. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. All right, Foote. I like it. All right. So that's the news. Now, speaking of Thread networks, which, by the way, I just saw that I do have some Hexo shapes, Nanoleaf hex shapes, and so like my Apple TV, trying to update it to tvOS 17 on air, I'm updating those Nanoleaf shapes, and I'm going to let you know if they show up on the Thread network. But speaking of Thread, you have some thoughts here on Thread, here in the notes. I don't want to steal your thunder. Why don't you tell how you feel about Thread?
I still hate it, Steven.
I
still hate it. I do. I keep trying it, and and not only that, but all I do is see other people on Threads and on Twitter hating on Threads now. Everyone over this thing. Threads is getting really boring, and there's like people like showing screenshots of them just deleting the Threads app. And a couple things to add on top of that, the spam has been ridiculous, and so much so that they literally copied Twitter and introduced rate limits. So if you scrolled on Threads too long, you just couldn't do it anymore because they had to put rate limits in place because the amount of spam that was flooding the network. Yeah. And I was literally on it yesterday trying to reply to some people, and it literally looked like Instagram. People just posted like these meme accounts and all this other nonsense. Just posted, like they post onto Instagram and then they republish it to like Threads. I'm literally just looking at Instagram and I don't like Instagram. So like this is, it's just another Instagram at that point, and I don't want that. Like no one was posting anything. Like it was just, they were like highlighting just a ton of photos and memes and not like any actual content. Like I go over to Twitter and like people are giving like in-depth stuff on the recent Final Cut update that launched and like actual useful things that I want to read, and then there's hi, I'm a meme on Threads. Like it's driving me crazy. There's also still I know the big update came out this past week, but they still didn't add things like hashtag support, so you can't even get things like highlighted really. Like there's no way to like get your stuff surfaced because you can't even join in on like conversations, which makes it even harder to promote content there. Like, I don't know. It still seems like a hot mess. I'm very close to I don't think I'll delete it, but abandoning my efforts.
I still like Threads. I'm on there. I'm getting some engagement. I will say Adam Mosseri, who's he runs Instagram and now Threads. I don't know if They consider him not the
He's
CEO.
not the CEO, but whatever, product developer or product lead. I don't know,
Project
something.
lead. Whatever. He had like just a random post the other day on Threads. He was like, "Yeah, Android's now better than iOS." No context, no explanation. It wasn't even like quoting an article or linking to an article. I have no idea. And supposedly that update came out, which added the follower feed where you can just see people you follow. And I was like, I actually have a Pixel phone right here. Let me see if I have it there. No follower feed. Like, it's not there. And it's updated to the latest version. So I don't even know what that update did per se. But anyway,
I saw a Verge article that said there's a new follow tab in Threads, but it doesn't do what you want it to do.
I did see that too, and I was like, I don't even know what that means, but okay. Anyway, yeah, Threads is fine. Speaking of something that we do like, I want to tell you about our second and final sponsor, our friends at Factor. Factor meals. Oh my goodness! Listen, I just had some Factors the other day. I got a box, and I was like, all of this is delicious. I don't even know what to eat first. I did. There was like a chicken jalapeno, cheese something with some broccoli, and they cut up the broccoli real small, like I like, and like a little side, so it's not like huge. You don't feel like you're eating trees. I just loved it. Factor can help you fuel up fast with flavorful and nutritious, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. Andrew, I think you've actually been able to try Factor recently as well, right? What do you think about it?
I love this. This is so good. I really, really like this one. I love cooking, like it's my thing, but there are like those times where like you don't get, like Faith will work until 5:30, and then I'm still working on stuff like a release day or something. Then I gotta get Harrison in bed, so sometimes I don't got time. And like, what are you gonna do? Go to make some crappy mac and cheese or canned food? No. This is so much better. Faith has tried like a few of the chicken ones. I had this like rubbed pork chop that was fantastic, and the key light's just going out on me.
Andrew, what is happening?
My light constantly done this. They just turn on and off still. Never been fixed. Been going on since we built this studio. No clue. But I think my favorite part, Steven, is the smoothies. Those things are clutch. They are the perfect size, not too big, and as a type 1 diabetic, I love smoothies, but it's usually just a game of like, how much sugar can we put into a cup? These are ridiculously low on carbs for a smoothie, so I can drink them without having to spend $60 worth of insulin. So, win-win.
Yes. Win-win. I love the smoothies too. The strawberry banana, the tropical, the mango. Love the smoothies. And if you get the Factor meals, you can do it in the microwave for 2 minutes. And, a lot of times when you microwave a meal, sometimes it can, like, not just be great. Like, it's parts of it are cold or whatever. Somehow, Factor has, like, packaged this thing where it just heats everything up well. But I even prefer the toaster oven. I put it in there 7 minutes. Really not that long. Really good. I'm just saying, you can do toaster oven or microwave. Go either way. Don't spend all the time go grocery shopping. You're trying to get out there and do fun stuff for the summer. You treat yourself to 34-plus weekly restaurant-quality options like, get this, bruschetta shrimp risotto. Look at that. Green Goddess chicken and grilled steakhouse filet mignon. Yeah, I said it. That's right. So anyway, you just have to try Factor. It's wonderful. You get a ton. Again, they have the breakfast options. Not only do they have smoothies, but you can get apple cinnamon pancakes, bacon and cheddar egg bites, potato, bacon, and egg breakfast skillet. They have just a bunch of stuff. So this July, get Factor. Enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy those fresh flavor-packed meals delivered to your door, ready in just 2 minutes. So here's what you do. Head to factormeals.com/HomeKit50 and use the promo code HomeKit50 to get 50% off. That's a lot of percent. That's code HomeKit50 at factormeals.com/HomeKit50 to get 50% off. You got to try it. I love them. Factormeals.com/HomeKit50. Thanks, Factor. All right. We have a couple quick reviews. Now, well, wait a minute. You just snuck this in here. I didn't even see this before we started recording. What, you got a surprise?
This is not even HomeKit related, just really fast. Like, I'm so excited. I finally upgraded my camera. I am still setting everything up, but I am stoked on this. I just picked up the new Nikon Z8. It's been like out of stock everywhere. And I finally got my hands on it. I got a small rig cage to go on the outside to shoot handheld, fancy additional grip on the side. I am super excited about this. This is going to be fun. So not using it right now, obviously, I have a lot of settings I need to tweak. And there may be one missing feature that I'm hoping is going to arrive in a software update. For right now, it doesn't seem you can take photos while in video mode. Which for me, I don't know if you do this like with your shots, but sometimes I'll have everything ready for video, and then I'll have like the lighting, the white balance, everything set perfectly because I'm shooting a video, and I just want to take a photo and capture that frame. And right now it doesn't work on this. It works on my existing Nikon, but it doesn't seem to do it on the new one. So I'm hoping there's going to be a new firmware release that'll add that, but that thing is a beast. It actually can shoot photos in like HEIF, like the high efficiency format that Alpha uses. So you can get near raw quality, but at the size of JPEGs. So like you don't even have to shoot in RAW for most of your stuff. You can shoot in HEIF, and it'll just be supported on your Apple stuff. So super excited to play around with this thing.
That's cool. That's pretty cool. Thanks. Well, congratulations. Always fun. New camera gear. I like it. Very good. And all right, quick review from my side. I have a new button. We actually talked about this brand 2 weeks ago, I believe, because it was with both of us. And it was Tuo, a new brand, TUO, was coming out with Matter devices that work over Thread. And I actually got an email from the guy and was like, can I send you a button? I was like, please do. And so I got the Tuo Button. This is the Tuo
I only see
Matter
one O on there.
Button. And it's that's very funny. That's very funny, Andrew. Yeah, it's just 1 O. Yeah, it's just to let you know that this is where you press it. That's where you press it. I can't press it, otherwise my studio lights will turn off. But this is a 2.0 button. It is Matter. There's just a Matter HomeKit code right there on the back, and super easy to plug in. No hub required. It uses Thread.
Did you?
You set that up with Matter, yeah.
Does it support HomeKit natively, or is it Matter? Like, did you actually add a Matter device?
Oh, no. Okay. No, I will add Matter devices to the network, no problem. I don't upgrade my current, like, Eve and other devices that are working flawlessly, untouched. I don't upgrade those to Matter for literally no reason because they're working fine. No, Matter devices, I would say, come on in. Hey, Matter, you matter to me. Come on in. The SwitchBot hub with the Matter, come on in. Although that thing stopped working and I disconnected it because I was tired of seeing accessories not responding. That's beside the point. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this guy. So this is Matter device, Matter HomeKit code. I paired it up. It actually comes with this cool, like, this is a magnetic plate, and it magnetically attaches to the back, and then it has a little, like, screw hole. So you can, if you wanted to, actually screw this on the wall somewhere or in the desk, and then you can, have the button just magnetically, right there on it, and then take it right off. You like that? And it was really cool. So anyway, super fast to connect. It has 3 options: single press, double press, and then tap and hold. And I have it set for my office scene. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do a test right now. 1 click was get ready to record, which is this current scene. So if I click it twice, it's going to turn off my studio lights and turn on my ceiling fan lights. So I'm not going to look great, but it should be fine. So here's a double click. Very satisfying click, by the way. Look how fast that ran that scene. Ran the scene. My studio lights are off. My Eve motion blinds is raising. And really quick. And a very satisfying click. Let me click it once now and get ready to record. Here we go. Hit it once. There we go. Now back recording. Blinds are now lowering. And you heard the click. So really, it's really fun. And they have other stuff. They actually have a lock that supports Apple, I believe Apple Home Key. I'm not sure. It might just be HomeKit. But they have the lock. They have this. And they have, I think, like a shade or something. I forget. I'll put the link to the Tuo stuff. But anyway, and the button is pretty inexpensive. I will say, let me go to Amazon and Tuo Button. And this button, why am I seeing all knives? What? Why is it all knives? I don't understand. Hold on. I don't know what apparently Tuo is also a knife brand, which is strange. Anyway, okay, you can't get it on Amazon. This is exciting radio right here. This is what everybody comes in for. Tuo, findtuo.com. The button is $35. So not like super inexpensive, but the fact that you don't need to get a hub which is nice. So, if you get the car button, you need to make sure you have the hub. And it actually came with a bunch of stickers. So if you actually want to, actually put a sticker on it so you know what the button does, comes with these nice stickers. Sometimes you got to order that stuff separately. But it's not, it's really nice. I like it. Also comes with a little sticky gel thing. If you want to stick it to something, you can stick it wherever you want. Tuo. I like it. I like a little button. Anyway.
We know you do.
I like buttons,
You love
Andrew.
the buttons.
I like buttons. Look at all these buttons I got. Look at all these buttons. Where's my flick button? Look at all these buttons. Look at all these buttons.
Hit them all
got
at
the
once.
car, you
Hit
got the
them all
flick,
at once.
you got the
Hit them all at
Tuo.
once.
My button's in the other room.
just
Oppenheimer. The Oppenheimer explosion. That's what happened.
It's a whole thing. Right now, we
Oppenheimer?
were supposed to see it tonight with my brother and friend, and then my brother is maybe bailing, and then said a different movie, and then my friend's like, I'm still going to see Oppenheimer even by myself. So I'm like, oh, do I go with my brother's friend and see it, or do I go see a different movie with my brother, but then I got to still find some time to see Oppenheimer? I don't know.
That's a tough problem. Is he going to see Barbie instead?
He was suggesting Mission Impossible, but I'm seeing that next week. I don't know. I'm down for a whole Barbenheimer thing. I am on board with that. I think that's a great choice. Yeah, absolutely.
Double feature.
But I don't think Faithers would like to see Oppenheimer. She's
Double
just
feature.
in for Barbie.
So anyway. I was not about that Barbie movie like when it was announced, but now that leading up to it, there's so much hype.
I like Greta Gerwig, so I think there's a lot of,
they say
the actor
great.
Michael Cera randomly got a part in there.
Right.
Like, that'd be a good movie.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, now you got something else, ESR MagSafe. I know ESR makes a bunch of MagSafe
Steven,
stuff. I know I have a couple of their
this
things.
may
What do you
be
got
one
over
of the
there?
times where
What
you
are you
buy
hiding?
something on air. I don't want to overhype it too much, but I have
On air?
found what I think is this is 100% the most capable MagSafe charger that I have ever tested. It was big talk, Steven. It was big talk. This is wholly unique. There is not a single thing like it on the market right now.
Big talk.
I will say, just to put an asterisk on this, they did sponsor a video over on our YouTube channel. So this is not sponsored. They're not doing this, but this is legitimately cool. So I need to share with you guys, and we always talk about MagSafe stuff here. So this is a 6-in-1 MagSafe stand. The only 6-in-1 MagSafe charger available. So you got MagSafe here on the top.
Wow.
Not only is it MagSafe, but there's the optional cryo boost in here that you can turn on or off, and it's a fan that will cool your phone as it charges. So if you're doing something like watching a video while charging, your phone won't overheat. It can literally keep it cool and increase your charging performance. It has an Apple Watch charger. What kind of Apple Watch charger, Steven? It has the new fast charge module built in. The fast charge module, which is you don't even see very much. You got a cheap pad down here for your AirPods. It aligns it for you. That's so cool. So aside from those are your 3 standard ones. Then if we just pivot.
Oh
right
my
there,
goodness.
2 USB-C ports and a USB-A port. So you got 2. This can charge a Mac. This is a 100-watt GAN charger inside of here. So you got 100 watts of total shared output on there. You can plug in your Mac and charge it out of your MagSafe charger.
They should have called this the Oppenheimer. This is the Oppenheimer.
I mean,
what?
I'm not gonna there is the blue light that you can turn off that comes out of here. I'm not a huge fan of that or whatever. And this brick is just a little on the big side, but you got a 100-watt GAN charger in here, so there's got to be space for it.
Sure.
It may not be as sleek as some like the Belkin ones or something, but I do not mind the look of this thing, and I honestly have never seen a more capable MagSafe charger. There's been 0 MagSafe chargers that have the additional outputs. Like, from what I understood, manufacturers told me that off the record that the MagSafe spec does not allow for USB-C outputs. So you've never seen one that supported MagSafe with a USB-C output. But that's what I need in my kitchen area, because we'll put our phones there, we'll charge our watches there, most often. But I also need to plug in an Arlo camera to recharge it, or I'll need to plug in my insulin pump or a battery pack. And what else? You have to plug in a second brick or something to do that. With this, you don't need to. I keep the little cords in a drawer, wound up, and then when you need something, pull it out, plug it in the side, charge it up. You get 3 extra outputs on there.
Sheesh.
This thing is pretty sweet.
Now, I imagine this costs $18,000. Is that what's the price point on this guy? I'm trying to find.
Let me tell you, Steven.
ESRgear.com. Okay.
Yes.
I see.
So
on their website.
they started as a Kickstarter, I believe, is what they're doing for this. But they've done most of their stuff on Kickstarter, and they've done all of it. It's not even like a long delay for it. Let me see.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
Find it?
Kickstarter. Well, I got the link that you sent me. This is the Apple certified 6-in-1 MagSafe charger with GAN. It's got the little fan.
That's their
thingy.
website link, and then here is theirs for the actual Kickstarter.
Okay.
So right now, you can back it.
Gotcha.
$154.
Oh.
That's it.
It's not bad.
For a 6-in-1,
Yeah,
you're paying like more than
like
that for the existing 3-in-1s. And this is all fully Apple certified. Like, this is Apple's badges all over it. The Apple tested all of this, signed off on it. This isn't like some sketchy magnetic one. Like, this is full MagSafe certified 15 watts. You're getting the fast charge on the Apple Watch, all official Apple parts here. Crazy.
That's pretty cool. Okay, 6-in-1. I did not expect that. I'm curious now because I actually have an Anchor. I don't know. It's called a Mag Go. It's like a little ball, and it has the MagSafe on the front, and then it's got USB-C and USB-A ports on the back that I use sometimes. But something like that on a desk, where you might want to charge a laptop, you might want to charge just like your Magic Keyboard or whatever. Plus, you have the MagSafe for your phone, your watch, like. Because that was the one thing, like when I do software updates, if I'm here at my desk, I can update everything. But I don't have an Apple Watch charger here in the office, and you have to have that on a charger in order for it to update the software. And man, to have this just on your desk, be able to plug all that in, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Man.
And I think the one that you're talking about is called the Mag Go from Anchor, and it's not even MagSafe.
Right.
So it does have the USB outputs, but it's not MagSafe. It's magnetic Qi, 7.5 watt.
Right, it's just magnetic Qi.
And not cooling. There's no cooling built in.
The cooling's pretty fun.
It's kind of crazy. So I did like a charging test, and with their 7.5 watt charger, so this was before they came out with an official MagSafe one, it was just slightly slower than MagSafe because it was still Qi, so it was half the maximum speed, but because they were actively cooling, they had great performance. So I haven't tested this yet, but they said like if you were watching a video the entire time or like playing a game or something on your phone where it was actively heating, it would still charge your phone in roughly 2 hours, and yet like the official charger would take like 6 hours because your phone was getting so hot doing that stuff. So if you're not doing anything but just sitting there, the cryo boost stuff isn't probably going to make any difference. But when you're actively using your phone, watching something on it, doing something at the same time as charging, where your phone's already hot, it can make a big difference. And you don't hear the fan either. Like I can't even tell when it's on.
That is pretty cool. That's very cool. Okay, well, link in the show notes if you want to get that, at least on Kickstarter right now, and then I'll put the link to their actual website as well. ESR makes some cool stuff. I actually had their 3-in-1 like travel charger thing. Took it on my trip. Really like that thing. So they've been making waves. They're making some stuff. Okay, we have time for just a couple quick listener questions. This is from Steve via email, and he was talking about understanding dialogue from his TV speakers. He's trying to decide whether to go with a Sonos Arc or 2 new HomePods set up with an Apple TV. And he's asking specifically about the enhanced dialogue feature, which I finally got the tvOS 17 beta on my Apple TV, but I did not install it on my HomePods. And I do not see the enhanced dialogue update. I think your HomePods also have to be on the beta. So my question to you is, Andrew, have you tried the enhanced dialogue on HomePods yet?
I have not tried it. I do have the update installed, but I have not tried the enhanced dialogue yet. I will say I really, really like the Sonos Arc, and it's been like my recommendation of choice for most people. I think the HomePods, the base is still like a little too much, and right now using HomePods, Faith is always saying how she can sometimes not hear when people are talking. Like we got to like really boost the audio. So to me that's actually been a problem with HomePods, so that they really needed that enhanced dialogue thing. But the fact that you have to enable enhanced dialogue to hear talking as clearly, I would lean towards the Arc without even trying enhanced dialogue.
Okay. And listen, I have an Arc as well. Love the Arc. Arc sounds amazing. There's a great video from Vox.com where it talks about like why can't you hear what anybody says anymore in like TVs and movies, and they actually talk about how things are mixed today. It's actually making it difficult to actually hear it, and that's why people turn on subtitles and captions all the time now. So if I would maybe hold out until enhanced dialogue is available, and Andrew and I will probably both use that. I know I'm going to test it once the public release comes out, which is in a couple months. So we're probably looking at September. But if you just want to go Sonos Arc, and then you also have the whole world of Sonos Sub, you can get some Air 300s as rears,
that you
and then
can
you have
expand
like
your system with the Sonos system. Like you're not stuck with just the soundbar.
Yeah.
Over time, add to that setup. Drop in the sub, get some rears. You can get crazy setup.
Drop it like it's hot. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. All right, last listener question. This is from James on Threads. Oh, no, actually, I'm sorry, too quick. James on Threads, he was asking tvOS auto switching enabled. Andrew had talked about this last time, and I think he was wanting clarification. The feature in tvOS 17 is that once all your devices are on 17, if you go to the control center on your iPhone, go to the Apple TV remote control, and turn on an Apple TV from your phone with the remote control from the control center, that it will automatically log you into your profile on that Apple TV. That is what that auto switching on TV is referring to. And I don't know if Faith is on the beta, but have you witnessed that profile switching at all?
Not yet, but again, like you said, Faith is not on the beta. So right now it doesn't seem to be doing it because I wake it up, it's on my profile, but it's always on my profile. So I'm not sure, and honestly, I'm wondering how this is going to work because Faith is the one who always uses the remote app on her phone, whereas I use the Siri remote most often. So this is going to be interesting because we don't necessarily want it to switch to her profile because mine is the one with our like active watch list. So
right.
I don't know. We might just have to make an adjustment.
Okay. We might. Well, we will have to. We'll have to let you know. Follow you up there, and then we also had another question from Perry. He's asking about the Logitech Circle View cameras. He's got 2 of them, and they stopped recording clips, unfortunately. And this is always hard to like diagnose on air and what would help. But I would say try to factory reset them. I know that can be cumbersome and it's annoying, but a lot of times a factory reset and then re-adding it to your home will help. And so that would be my recommendation. If you can't get anything else to work, even changing some of the settings, factory reset it, re-add it, and then see if it starts recording again. That would be my advice. Andrew, I don't know if you have any...
The first suggestion I would say is try restarting your home hub. Like sometimes something just gets like wonky on your home hub. He didn't mention if he had tried that or not yet. That's my first go-to. Reset your home hub or multiple home hubs if you have them, and then restart the camera. See if that kicks things into gear. If not, change a setting. If not, just what you said, Stephen, remove that camera, try to re-add it.
Yeah. All right, well, that's it. Keep reaching out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Mm-hmm. We're on Threads, even if Andrew's poo-pooing Threads. We're there. You can reach out to us. That's where 2 of our HomeKitir ladies reached out, was on Threads. So Threads, Mastodon, Twitter, Carrier Pigeon, MySpace, Kazaa, LiveJournal, whatever you got, we'll get the message from you. Not really those last couple, but you know what I mean. And let us know what HomeKit projects you got going on, new products you've gotten that you're excited about. Shoot us your questions. We'd love to hear from you. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.